All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Will you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Thank you. This is the Monday, September 22nd meeting of the Westport Select Board under Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20F. This meeting is being recorded. Our next meeting is going to be held on October 6th. We are scheduled to have an executive session tonight, but we might not need it. It depends on how the conversation goes on an earlier topic, but we'll talk about whether we're going to come back after the executive session once we decide that. I just wanted to, somebody pointed out that we did not previously acknowledge the passing of Kendall Nicholson. Kendall Nicholson was 79 of Westport, passed away on Monday, August 5th. He was a retired firefighter for the town of Westport, a profession he began in 1973 and truly loved. He volunteered his time as a Boy Scout leader with his therapy dog, the late Casey, from the Westport Council on Aging, the Macomber School, and the area nursing homes. He'll be remembered as a loving husband, father, and grandfather. And I know his family still continues to be very active in the town of Westport. So our condolences to family of the Nicholsons and apologies it took us this long to acknowledge him. Does anybody want to say anything about?
Madam Chair, I didn't know the deceased, but I know his family, and they're very wonderful people.
Yeah. All right, thank you. So we don't have any public hearings today, but what we do have on the agenda is licenses and permits. And so for 2A, actually, let's skip that. Let's do let's do the appointments first and then the licenses second. Is that okay with everybody? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to take out of order then. We're going to do 3. So we have 3A as a request from Rob Delgaudio, a Cultural Council Chair, to appoint Karen Long to the Cultural Council.
Move we accept the recommendation.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. We have a request from Chief Christopher Dunn, represented by Deputy Police Chief Robert Rebello. The first one is to appoint Evan Thomas as a full-time officer pending successful completion and prerequisite screening, training, and testing. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. So on behalf of the chief, I'm just here to speak about the contingent letter of offer of employment for Evan Thomas. In an effort to fulfill the upcoming full-time police officer position, I respectfully request the board consider appointing the following candidate pending successful completion of a background check, physical examination, psychological testing, and requisite training. Evan Thomas is currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in criminal justice at Curry College. He currently works as a security guard at Charlton Memorial Hospital and serves in the United States Army Reserves as a radio equipment repair operator. A resident of Somerset, he has expressed interest in eventually relocating to Westport. I'm not requesting any additional funding to fill this position.
Okay, thank you.
From the chief.
And Mr. Thomas is here. Did you want to say anything? You don't have to, but.
I'm just excited to be here. Hopefully, I'm excited to start working for the Westport Police Department.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Move approval of the appointment subject to all the conditions that the deputy chief specified in his recommendation.
Second. And just for clarification for the board, so this kind of changes what happened previously. Now, due to legal requirements, we had to have a condition of letter of employment before we start doing background checks and things of that nature. So this is why it's happening now first instead of last,
Okay.
just so you know.
All right, is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
All right, and you have another one for Sean Munzing.
2 more.
Sean Munzing and
Luis
Luis Vertentes. You want to talk about those?
They're just outstanding members of the department, just here for annual reappointment.
All right, so we have Sean Munzing for September 8, 2025, and Luis Vertentes on effective October 6, 2025. And these are just reappointments.
Correct.
Right.
Yep. They're both in good standing.
Move approval subject to recommendation conditions.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absence. I think those are all yours. Is there anything else while you're here?
The only thing is we do have an update on the Coffee with the Cop, October 1st. That is happening at Lee's Market from 8 to 10 a.m. And then again, October 19th, the Halloween happenings with the Recreation Department at the Adamsville Conservation Area. That'll be from 12 PM to 2 PM. We'll be there as well with our community outreach unit. And that's it.
That reminds me that I forgot to mention the rabies clinic on September 27. I wrote 29.
This Saturday. It's
So
this-
on Saturday, the 27th, from 9 to 12, there's a rabies clinic at the Hicks Bridge Fire Station. So Saturday, the 27th, 9 to 12, the rabies. October 1, coffee with the cop. And then October 19 is the Halloween happenings at Westport Woods.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
3E, we have a request to appoint Carla Vieira to the Administrative Assistant Confidential Clerk position effective October 14, 2025. So this is, we promoted Paula, so this is the position to take Paula. Who interviewed or who was on the screening committee? Yeah. Do you want to talk about the selection process?
Sure. We had, again, a pretty good number of resumes that applied for the position. We ended up interviewing a couple candidates, and Carla, with her background here in Westport and her kind of forward-facing roles in the town clerk's office with the general public, was helpful in our decision. I think that was very key for us to kind of come to a decision. It was not an easy decision. We spent a lot of time and actually a couple days going over it and hoping we're making the right decision. And I think we are with Carla. She does a great job right now. And I know Kristen is a little disappointed to be losing her, but I think this will be great for the select board.
Thank you. Anything to add?
Only that, we did have a lot of resumes, but we only interviewed 2 in-house candidates because we felt they were both qualified, and only if that did not prevail would we go with the outside candidates. So we did have a great interest in this position.
Great, okay. All right, so what's the pleasure? I'm going to move it.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
No speech?
No, thank
Yeah,
you.
she's not gonna-
I just talked about how great you were with the public, Carla. Come on.
Before I want to do the permit approval, but it's going to be long and boring. So just before I do that, I just want to check if anybody's here for a particular topic. Okay, all right. You're welcome to stay, but it's also fine if you leave. That's fine. Just don't talk in the hallway. That's the only thing. All right, so I'm going to go back to the regularly scheduled programming here for licensing and permits. So 2A, we have the 2026 preliminary license permit approval. So these are yearly approvals that what we do is preliminarily approve them subject to the appropriate paperwork being filed. That way Paula or Carla can just go ahead and issue them as they come in instead of waiting till the end of the year. So this would be at the end of all this, when we name them all, I'll entertain a motion to approve subject to the receipt of the appropriate paperwork or documentation. So what I'm going to do is just read them all, or Jake is going to help me out because he volunteered. So I'm going to read them. If there's any that you want to put a hold on for any reason, just say so, that you want to hold on it, and we'll vote on the bulk of them, and then we'll vote on the hold separately. Okay, All Alcohol Club, the Acoxit Club doing business as Acoxit Club, Inc. Holy Ghost Club of Westport, Inc. All Alcohol Hotel Innkeeper, Packaguk Inn, doing business as Packaguk Inn. All Alcohol Package Store, 787 Liquors Corp., doing business as State Road Package. Gulf Resources, Inc., Ishan, Inc., doing business as Country Liquor and Variety. Raj P., Inc., doing business as Westport Market. Siri, Inc., doing business as Westport Wine and Spirits. Supreme Westport Fuel, Inc., doing business as Supreme Gas. Trail, Inc., doing business as Lee's Market. Then we have All Alcohol Restaurant, Bad Kitty, Inc., doing business as The Back Eddy. Bittersweet Restaurant, Inc., doing business as Bittersweet Restaurant. Bootleg Barbecue, Westport LLC, doing business as Bootleg Barbecue. Hicksbridge Hospitality, doing business as 10 Cousins Brick Oven. House of Chew, Inc., doing business as Oriental Pearl. J&S Restaurant Enterprise, Inc., doing business as Cozy Nook Restaurant. LaFrance Brothers, Inc., doing business as White's Restaurant. OMS LLC, doing business as Portas de Ciudad, P&G Bowling W. Inc., doing business as Holiday Lanes, the Bayside Restaurant, doing business as the Bayside Restaurant, the West Porter Plantation and Cookery Inc., doing business as the West Porter, Westport Club Inc. Then we have All Alcohol Veterans Club, WANR Let Post 8502, doing business as VFW US Inc. Farmer Winery Pouring, Buzzards Bay Brewing Inc. and Westport Rivers Inc. Wine and Malt Innkeeper, La France Hospitality Corporation, doing business as Hampton Inn. Westport Town Hospitality, doing business as Town Place Suites. Wine and Malt Package Store, Cumberland Farms of Massachusetts, doing business as Cumberland Farms 2234. J. Ma Durga Inc., Noel Inc., doing business as Village Market. Pine Hill Gas and Convenience Inc., Starport Corp., doing business as Star Country Store and Deli. Wine and Malt Restaurant, Compton Clambake LLC, NCES Inc., doing business as Village Pizza. Seasonal Wine and Malt, a Coxet Club, doing business as a Coxet Club Inc., doing business as The Pro Shop. PVS LLC, Partners Village Store. Seasonal All Alcohol, Bay Breeze Inc., doing business as Westport Sea Farms. Common Victualler, a Coxet Club Inc., doing business as Pro Shop. Alice A. Macomber Primary School. Bad Kitty, doing business as the Back Eddy. We have a hold on Baker's Beach, so that one we're holding. Bay Breeze Inc., Bittersweet Restaurant Inc., Buzzards Bay Brewing Inc., Compton Clam Bakes and Catering, Country Liquor and Variety, Cumberland Farms Inc., 2234, Cumberland Farms Inc., 2273, Delano's Daily Grind, Dunkin' Donuts, Edible Creations by Jerry, Gooseberry Natural Foods, Handy Hill Enterprises, Harry's Country Store Inc., Holiday Lanes, Holy Ghost Club of Westport Inc., Honeydew Donuts, Kathy's Coffee Shop and Creamery LLC, Cozy Nook Restaurant, Lee's Market, Lexi Lou's Place, Lexi's Roadside Dogs, Lickety Splits, Nick's Homemade Pizza, Noel Inc., doing business as Village Market, Nokachoke Hall Association, Olympia Pizza, Oriental Pearl Restaurant, Our Lady of Grace Church, Paradise Hill Farm, Partners Village Store, Perry's Bakery Inc., Pine Hill Gas and Convenience Inc., Portas de Ciudad, 787 Liquors, St. John the Baptist Church, Stacy Cakes Tea Shop and Cakery, Star Country Store and Deli, Supreme Gas, 10 Cousins Brick Oven, the Bayside Restaurant, the Headtown Lending Country Store, the West Porter, Timo's Pizza, Village Pizza, WANR Let Post 8502, Weatherland Farms LLC, Westport Club Inc., Westport Council on Aging, Westport Country Day School, Westport Elementary, Westport Fair Inc., Westport Gas, Westport Junior Senior High School, Westport Lobster Company, Westport Market, Westport Meats, Westport Point United Methodist Church, Westport Rivers Inc., Westport Wine and Spirits, White's Restaurant, Wild Honey Cafe, Wingate's Cakes. Now, Jake.
I'll be taking over the remainder here. The entertainment licenses, first, Coxet Club Inc., Bad Kitty DBA as the Back Eddy, Bittersweet Restaurant Incorporated, Buzzards Bay Brewing Incorporated, Holiday Lanes, Holy Ghost Club of Westport Inc., Oriental Pro Restaurant, Port de Sade, 10 Cousins Brick Oven, WANR Olette Post, number 8502, Weatherlow Farms, Westport Club Inc., Westport Rivers Inc., White's Restaurant. We have amusement licenses, that's Holiday Lanes and Oriental Pro Restaurant, and an innkeeper is the Coxet Club Incorporated, Hampton Inn, Pawcatuck Inn, and Westport Town Hospitality, DBA as Town Place Suites. Now we're moving on to Class 1 licenses.
Class 1 motor vehicle.
Class 1 motor vehicle licenses. Bulldog Performance Plus, Holdco Inc., Amaral Bus Company Incorporated, DBA is Amaral Bus Truck Sales and Service, Auto Plus Motor Cars, AVR Plus Incorporated, Beilou Garage, Charlie's Auto, Dan's Auto Sales, Distinctive Auto Body Refinishing and Sales Limited, Ferrera's Auto Body and Sales, Ferrera's Auto Sales and Marine Annex, Frank E. Brayton Jr., Auto Sales and Service, Inc., G&S Used Auto Sales, G. Souza's Hillside Motors, Incorporated, Glenwood Auto Sales, Greenwood Park Motors, Inc., Hala Auto Sales, Incorporated, Hilltop Motors and Equipment, Hometown Motors, Horseneck Auto Sales, Inc., iCars Inc., J&L Pond View Auto Sales Corp., JBS Towing Services Corp., John Soares Village Garage Inc., a second license under John Soares Village Garage Inc., Leclerc's Auto Sales, New Way Auto Sales, Prestige Auto Mart Incorporated, R&R Auto Body, Richard Mendez, DBA Mendez Auto Sales, Rob's Auto Care Incorporated, Soma Imports Incorporated, State Road Auto Sales Incorporated, doing business as State Road Auto Sales, State Road Auto Sales Incorporated, DBA State Road Auto Sales Annex 1, Sue's Auto Sales, Tech Auto World LLC, Thad's Auto Salvage Incorporated, Top Quality Auto Sales, there are 3 licenses for that, so Top Quality Auto Sales and Top Quality Auto Sales, Upstate Remarketing, Westport Auto and RV Center, Windmill Cycles, Westport Auto and RV Center, Windmill Cycles. Class 3 licenses is Atlantic Salvage, Inc., Mid-City Scrap Iron, Inc., Robert J. Desmaris, Thad's Auto Salvage Incorporated. Repair licenses, Adamsville Garage, Advanced Motor Sales and Service, Amaral Bus Company Incorporated, DBA as Amaral Bus Truck Sales and Service, AVR Plus Incorporated, Barry's Mobile Automotive, Belu's Garage, Bulldog, Charlie's Auto, Distinctive Auto Body Refinishing and Sales Limited, East Coast RV and Auto Repair, Ferreira's Auto Body and Sales, 5 Star Collision Incorporated, Foursquare Village Garage, G. Souza's Hillside Motors Incorporated, Glenwood Auto Detailing, Granite City Crushing, Hala Auto Sales Incorporated, Integrated Street Performance, JBS Towing Services Corp., Joe's Auto Repair, John Soares Village Garage Incorporated, Lou's Custom Exhaust, Martin's Auto Repair, Mendez Auto Repair, New Way Auto Sales, Prestige Auto Mart Incorporated, R&R Auto Body and Sales, Rob's Auto Care Incorporated, Rogers Automotive Incorporated, Route 6 Gas, Salem Enterprises, DBA Westport Tire Inc., State Road Auto Sales, Thad's Auto Salvage Incorporated. Top Quality Auto Sales, 3 times, Top Quality Auto Sales, Top Quality Auto Sales, Westport Auto Clinic, Whaling City Transit Incorporated, and Wilford's Garage.
Okay, so that's everything that was on the list except for Baker's Beach. Do I have a motion?
Move approval of the recommendations or the applications?
Second.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair. I may have just missed this, but I see Harry's Country Store.
J. Ma Durga Inc. should have been DBA Harry's Country Store.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, then we got that covered. Good.
All right, anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. And we have, Jake wants to abstain from the vote on the common victualler for Baker's Beach. So I'll have a motion to approve the common victualler for Baker's Beach.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 3 in favor, 1 abstention, and 1 absence. Phew. Okay, we have a request from the Holy Ghost Club at 171 Sodom Road for a 1-day all-alcohol license at 179 Sodom Road for a fish fry on Friday, October 3rd from 5 to 10 p.m. And paperwork's all in order?
Yes.
Okay.
Move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. We have 4A, a request to approve the letter to Mass DOT regarding Kirby Bridge. So we had the letter in our materials, but Jim, do you want to just summarize what it said?
Yeah, based on the discussion at the last select board meeting, there was a vote to not go forward with the design as proposed, and the letter just notifies Kristen Rebello, the grants administrator at Mass DOT, that based on the current design, Westport does not want to move forward. We kind of explained in the letter that we had concerns about the aesthetics and the overall design and the impact on the neighborhood, and kind of left it a little bit open. If they could address that, then, we'd consider it, but overall, it kind of says, yeah, we're out.
Okay. Craig, I know you were the one that had thoughts about that. So did you have anything? Are you
No,
okay with
I
that?
think that expresses what I was trying to get across.
Okay. So we have a request to approve the letter to be sent.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's 4 in favor and 1 absent. We have a request from Chris Gonsalves, the highway surveyor, to approve the Massachusetts Department of Transportation funding application for 2026 pedestrian and roadway safety improvements on Sanford Road between Briggs Road and Benoit Street with an approximate value of $500,000. Do you want to tell us about this one?
Yeah, so this is the Complete program, the Complete Streets program, which is administered through Mass DOT. It's a grant program. You can apply for grant fundings. I think it's a one-time funding type process. You're looking for complete streets, so when they're looking at funding, they're looking at sidewalks, pedestrian access, they're looking at bicycle paths, as well as the streets itself. This is set up for Sanford Road, where the sidewalk in that area has been in poor condition for years, so it's a grant application. There's no guarantee we'll get the funding, but if we don't apply, we'll never get it, so it's almost a $500,000 grant. I think it's a good grant. I think we have a shot at it, so I would recommend the select board approve the submittal of the application.
All right, thank you.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. So 4C is a request to approve the contract amendment for the town administrator, James Hartnett, interim. So you all recall that Jim's set to retire on September 26th, Friday. But he has agreed to stay on under contract amendment, so he would retire officially from his full-time job, but is coming, this contract will be an amendment to bring him back as an hourly employee. It's approximately the same rate. He's not paid hourly now, but the math works out that it's basically the same as he's getting paid right now for 40-hour work weeks. The contract does say to the end of December, but when we have our new town administrator start, we can end that earlier. There's no benefits. Like I said, it's very close to what he's being paid right now. We have an executive session if we want to talk about strategy without Jim present or without the public hearing it. But if we just approve it now or just have some discussion now in open session, we might not need to go into executive session.
To me, this appears to be pretty straightforward.
I,
And I think that in the interest of just expediting it and transparency, I would move that we approve the extension of the town administrator's contract subject to the specifications put forward, but it would, understanding that it effectively amounts to paying him at the same rate he's being paid now.
yes. Do I have a second?
I second that.
All right, so do we have any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Go ahead, Dick.
You had mentioned if we get the new town administrator, this contract might be amended. I was wondering what happens if we don't get a new town administrator by December the 31st, if the incumbent would be at least open to discussion about extending it further. I'll pose that as a question to the chair, to Jim, if you're inclined to answer it, but if not, I understand.
I'd be open to anything. There's pension requirements and other restrictions that we'd have to look into, so it may or may not be possible, but,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. My thought is, I'd like to, Westport's been good to me, I'd like to be good to Westport and finish it out the best I can, so if we can have a good transition, that's my goal.
Go ahead.
Through the chair. We're in the process with the screening committee that was set up here in town for a new town administrator. The deadline for resume submission was this last Friday. Resumes have been distributed out to that steering committee, and we have meetings scheduled for this Thursday. So hopefully we should be on track to get a new town administrator in here within a fair amount of time. I think it's good that it's flexible. Just clarification on this, there's no issue if, let's assume we got somebody in here November 1 and we had a nice transition. It wouldn't matter if Jim wanted, it would end at November 1 or whatever that time would
Yeah.
be, correct?
This is a 14-day
So
notice.
each time,
but,
okay.
I'm not,
So I'm fine with that.
So 14-day notice, but we would plan that to overlap. Yeah, okay. All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So that's 4 in favor and one absence. And because this executive session was to discuss the strategy and the minutes, what we'll do is we will not go into executive session tonight, and we'll just wait on another session for the minutes in the future.
Yep. Good.
Okay, 4D, we have a request from Jennifer Bellhumer, owner of Cottamunk Nursery School, to hold a trunk or treat event for their students and families in the back parking lot of the Town Hall Annex on Friday, October 10, from 4 to 5 p.m. Do we check is the space available?
Yes, Recreation is aware of it.
Okay.
Dana, she actually recommended that it go to the Select Board for approval, so they're aware of it.
Okay. All right, any discussion? Do I have
Motion to approve?
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's 4 in favor and 1 absent. So that's trunk or treat event for students of the Cottamunk Nursery School, October 10. And then E, we have a request from Kristen Stinson, the town clerk, to post the assistant to the town clerk position in-house and then external if needed, because we just stole her assistant town clerk. So she wants to post the position. So this is, will we post it internally and then externally? What do you
I'd
recommend?
like to leave it open so we can do it simultaneously, so.
We do it simultaneously, but consider.
We still have to wait the 7 days for the in-house
Okay,
applicants, but if, by the time we get it posted externally.
okay.
I move we do simultaneous posting with the understanding that there's a 7-day window for in-house applicants.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. We didn't have anything on discussion today. So how about the town administrator reports?
Do not have a written report, but I will give you a brief update. The HVAC system here in town has started. The units on the first floor have been placed in the proper location. They've cut out the radiators. They've mounted a number of them on the first floor. They're hoping up on the second floor to start work up here. They are moving fairly quick. They still got electrical to do. They're aware of the time frame that we have to get these things up and running before the cold weather comes in. They do have alternative provisions in case, but they are planning to get it done before it's needed, so. Yeah, the units look nice. So far, it's a little noisy, but people have been cooperating, and it's getting done. Route 6 water line, we're looking to pave towards the end of October. We're working on a letter now that we'd like to, I think a draft was in your correspondence, that we would like to get out to the neighbors, just letting them know that paving will take place the end of October, thanking them for their patience throughout the process. Paving will be on Osborne Street, Gifford Road, Greenwood, East Briggs. On Route 6, it'll be patching. We're limited as to the requirements of Mass DOT, so we have to follow the requirements that they put in front of us, and it's going to be more permanent patching. I think they cut out the patches one more time and do a finished patch on those, so that should be done again towards the end of October. We're working through the punch list right now. There's still some, I think there's 4 or 5 connections that have to be done on Route 6. That'll be done over the next couple of weeks. It's moving along. There's some people that are very excited to get some new water, and hopefully we can get that done by the end of October. Again, paving is conditioned on weather, so if we get 2 weeks of rain, it can push the schedule back, but we're doing everything we can to get it done in October. We don't want to wait too long into the season.
Sure, I just have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Jim, I know obviously the stuff that people see the most in the north end right now, obviously, are the roads and the impact of that. Some people have brought concerns up with the patches that are currently there. Have they been compacted down? Will they be an issue with, paving over it and maybe having sinkholes in that area? And then, have they done that or addressed that before we go into the wintertime?
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons, right? They usually like to let it sit through a season, so we started last winter, we got most of the trenches in, so most of those were open at one point last winter. They went through the spring rain season, so the settlements are pretty much done. I haven't seen any, I drive by there on a regular basis, I haven't seen any significant settlements over the last, 3 or 4 months. It's possible there was 1 or 2 out there. If they have, it's been patched, but this is typical. They will do some milling and then do a full width overlay of the street, so. These are never, I will say, it's never perfect, but, I think it's going to be as close as it's going to get.
Just one more question. Who is doing the paving?
I believe it's Keating, they're subcontracting with Keating. Keating just did the paving over
Yes.
here on Main Road, Sanford Road in Old County. Yes, they sub it out
Yeah.
to.
Keating has done a very good job in town. I know there's
Yeah.
issues with traffic, but the work they've done, they're very professional and they've done a very good job. I was on the Main Road site when they paved it last week, so I'm glad they're going to be handling, fixing the roads on the north end.
Yeah, just a point, they did my road and the road nearby, and there was no disruption to traffic coming and going, except, that, depending upon the time of day, had to go out one way, my driveway as opposed to the other way, but
I know there was a little bit of backup at school for like one day, but I think they did a really good job of that.
no, I thought overall, and it's, it's needed,
Yeah.
the roads were getting pretty bumpy.
And we have had those patches tested throughout the contract for
Okay.
compaction, and the asphalt has been down, has been tested as well, and so it does meet those requirements.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah. That's all I have.
Okay. So we have minutes of September 8th?
No.
No, we don't. Okay. So we will skip over that one. Report on the bill warrant?
Yeah, I don't know if this was in the package, but regardless, it's everything in order, $2.3 million, nothing out of the ordinary that I can find. So that's the way we like it, non-controversial.
All right, thank you very much. So next is liaison committee reports or suggestions for future agenda items. Let's start with Dick, because I usually start on the one at the end.
Yeah, that's, I'm honored, Madam Chair. Well, or maybe it's punishment, because last time I said I don't have anything to report, but one of these days this is going to change. Well, it changed.
Okay.
So business picked up, so I've been to a few meetings, and we've got a couple more scheduled pretty soon here. I'll talk about that. So the Council on Aging, I attended their monthly meeting. It was without controversy, and they handle routine business. I did attend CERTA. They already passed their budget, so this was, I'm sorry, I take that back. CERTA is coming up Thursday. It's Bristol County. I attended that meeting. It was the Bristol County Commissioners Advisory Committee.
Should have done that once.
And we passed the budget. The increase, we're particularly interested, of course, in Diamond, although the entire budget affects Westport. It was about, I don't recall the percentage of increase of the entire budget in which we will participate, but
From the last meeting, we didn't sign.
Diamond had an increase of 7%. I passed that on to the Finance Committee, and Karen Rouse thanked me for that. That was actually good news, although 7 is a number higher than inflation, because in the past 2 or 3 years, and particularly related to the construction project, they were running some very large increases in core services, like 20%. So this is a return to normalcy. More progress to be made, but that's a good report. The rest of it was without controversy. As I mentioned, there is a meeting of CERTA on Thursday. That should be routine. We already passed that budget. The Capital Improvement Planning Committee, we think might be meeting next week after Jim checks with everybody. And there's a Landing Commission meeting tomorrow. I'm the liaison from the Select Board, of course, so I'll attend that. So those are my reports, Madam Chair, but this also gives us the opportunity for future agenda discussion items, action items, whatever. The old high school. I can't help but ask, it seems that there's like a hiatus here going on, and I know where we left off, but we've heard nothing since. Is this something we want
I
to?
also had that on my list.
Oh, all right.
For Craig, I think, because you're our representative on the long-term building
Yeah,
committee.
we have not had a meeting since the last time we discussed it. So I think I think they were hoping to have a public meeting after Labor Day, which it is now but I don't know if the chair has scheduled a meeting yet.
So Paula, will you please invite the chair of the long-term building committee to our next meeting? We'll put a discussion topic to just get an update on where they are.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
So now that I'm going.
Go ahead. Wait, Dick, were you?
I'm
you
all
were
set.
done.
I'm all set.
Okay.
Affordable Housing Trust, we are still looking for property to do something on the scale of what we did with Nokochoke Village in terms of a number of units and how that will sort of work away at the affordable housing shortfall that we have in terms of what expectations are, where we are, and what we have done. It's been probably 7 or 8 years since we completed Nokochoke Village, and so, and a part of the expectation when we get funded by the community CPC committee is that we continue to try to produce units of affordable housing, and they would prefer that when they're giving us the money, because we now currently have a fair amount of money that's available for land acquisition, and so the amount of money that we can use towards land acquisition, reduce the cost in terms of the property, makes it easier for us to make it affordable without having to get into exotic housing subsidies, which are not necessarily available to communities like Westport. So that's where we are. Nothing new to report, but that's what our focus still is.
All right, thank you. Any others?
No, I think, I do not think that the opioid settlement advisory committee has met since, I think we're coming up on a meeting time, probably within the next week or so.
Okay.
Hasn't been posted yet, so I can't say when.
Okay. All right, thank you. Jake?
Thank you, Shauna. The only meeting we had over the past week was the Economic Development Committee, which now has full membership on it. We basically elected the chairs. Maureen May will remain as a chair, and then the vice chair, Steve Olet. Good meeting. Good to have a full house there, and the new members there. A lot of discussion, a lot of new ideas as to how to move forward the Economic Development Committee. Most of it in the past has been focused on the farmers market at the annex, but there were some good ideas percolating. I know Keith Dias is on as well, and he's got some ideas he's going to explore. So that's what really came out of that meeting, and we're looking to have another meeting in the October timeframe.
All right, thank you. I attended a meeting of the school building committee. So we're still trying to wrap up the projects. There's a couple of kind of big items on the list that still need to be addressed, but they're mostly working through the punch list. There was discussion at the last meeting about the participation of the owner's project manager, CHA. CHA has had a number of project managers turn over, but we really need them in order to close out the project. So there was some discussion about that, and I know council was involved and their council was involved, but they're back participating on the project again. So the goal is to try to close this out after the biggest thing is it's not the roof, it's the guttering, I think, for the roof.
The downspouts.
The downspouts,
Redirecting some of
yeah.
the water on the roof.
Yeah. So we need the closeout will mean we get the final installment from the MSBA, which would be nice to get that. But we're probably, a few months out from that. We were hoping to wrap that up before Jim came in. They are looking at some additional improvements, like to the auditorium in particular. So some of the sound damping and something with the mic. They understand there's audio problems in the room, and so they're making several improvements related to that. One of them is sound dampening tiles or something, and then another one is just changing.
Audio improvements.
And then they're changing the PA system overall. So, but we're close. We're getting closer. Anything else on that meeting that we talked about that was?
I think that's,
Yeah. Okay. I am going to ask on a future meeting that we dissolve the Internet Advisory Committee. The committee hasn't met in quite some time, and there's not really a proposed project on the table, so I'm going to recommend that we dissolve that one. And I think, like I said, I wanted an update on the school building project too, or what we're doing with that. All right. Is there anything anybody forgot or mentioned? I don't have any
Sure.
public in the area.
Just one, I forgot, I probably should have mentioned at the beginning. Westport River Watershed held their e-recycling event here at the town hall last Wednesday from 9 to 11 a.m. I actually volunteered with it, and it was nonstop from 9 a.m. to 11. It was pretty surprising for a Wednesday, basically nonstop. I think they were backed up down past the town annex, dropping stuff off. The joke with that is I told my wife the day before, I'm just going to pick up some laptops. She goes, oh, no, you're not. There were dehumidifiers, air conditioners, anything that plugged in was recycled. But thank all the staff at Westport River Watershed for putting it on and doing it, and all the volunteers that were there. Very successful event. They're going to be doing another one in the spring. I think it's going to fall on Earth Day, but don't hold me to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right, so we're not going to go into executive session, so I think we're done. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's 4 in favor and 1 absent. Thank you, gentlemen.
This may be the shortest since I...